In the heart of the mystical forest of Elvendom, where the ancient trees whispered secrets to the wind, and the creatures of the night roamed free, a young apprentice named Eryndor Thorne stumbled upon a cryptic map that would change his life forever. The map, worn and torn, depicted a path that led to the Lost City of Eldarath, a fabled metropolis hidden deep within the forest, where the ancient magic of the earth still lingered. Eryndor's eyes widened with excitement as he realized that this could be the discovery of a lifetime, one that would grant him access to the hidden knowledge of the ancients and unlock the secrets of the mystical arts. As Eryndor delved deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to grow taller, and the shadows grew darker, as if the very forest itself was watching him. He heard the distant howling of wolves, and the hooting of owls, and he could not shake the feeling that he was being led deeper into the heart of the forest by an unseen force. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the darkness, a woman with long, flowing hair, and eyes that shone like stars in the night. She introduced herself as Lyra, a guardian of the forest, and warned Eryndor of the dangers that lay ahead, telling him that the lost city of Eldarath was hidden behind a veil of illusions, and that only those who were pure of heart and strong of spirit could hope to find it. Eryndor and Lyra set out on their journey, following the winding path that led them deeper into the forest. As they walked, the trees grew closer together, and the air grew thick with an otherworldly energy. Eryndor could feel the magic of the forest pulsing through his veins, and he knew that he was getting closer to his goal. But Lyra warned him that the journey would not be easy, and that they would have to face many challenges before they could reach the lost city. She told him of the treacherous paths that lay ahead, the hidden pitfalls, and the fearsome creatures that guarded the city. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, Eryndor and Lyra encountered many strange and wondrous creatures, each one more fantastical than the last. They saw unicorns drinking from crystal-clear streams, and dragons soaring through the skies, their scales glinting in the sunlight. But they also encountered darker creatures, creatures that lurked in the shadows, and struck without warning. Eryndor and Lyra had to be constantly on their guard, using all their skills and cunning to outwit their enemies and stay one step ahead. After many days of travel, Eryndor and Lyra finally reached the edge of a great precipice, a cliff that plunged down into a deep and seemingly bottomless chasm. The air was filled with the sound of rushing water, and Eryndor could see a river flowing through the depths of the chasm, its waters glinting like gold in the sunlight. Lyra told him that this was the River of Dreams, a river that flowed through the very heart of the forest, and that it was said to have the power to grant wishes to those who drank from its waters. Eryndor and Lyra followed the river, using a narrow path that wound its way along the edge of the chasm. As they walked, the air grew colder, and the shadows grew darker, and Eryndor could feel a presence watching them from the depths of the chasm. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, a great winged creature with eyes that glowed like embers. It introduced itself as the guardian of the river, and told Eryndor and Lyra that they would have to prove themselves worthy to continue their journey. The guardian of the river presented Eryndor and Lyra with a challenge, a test of their courage and their wits. They had to navigate a maze of illusions, a labyrinth of twisting paths and deceptive appearances. The maze was said to be enchanting, and many had entered it never to return. But Eryndor and Lyra were determined to succeed, and they set out to navigate the maze, using all their skills and cunning to outwit the illusions and reach the center. As they navigated the maze, Eryndor and Lyra encountered many strange and fantastical creatures, each one more bizarre than the last. They saw creatures with multiple heads, and creatures with bodies made of pure light. But they also encountered darker creatures, creatures that lurked in the shadows, and struck without warning. Eryndor and Lyra had to be constantly on their guard, using all their skills and cunning to outwit their enemies and stay one step ahead. After many hours of navigating the maze, Eryndor and Lyra finally reached the center, a great crystal palace that shone like a beacon in the darkness. The palace was filled with a dazzling array of treasures, each one more precious than the last. But Eryndor and Lyra were not interested in the treasures, they were interested in the knowledge that the palace held, the secrets of the ancient magic that had created the maze. As they explored the palace, Eryndor and Lyra discovered a great library, a vast collection of ancient tomes and scrolls that held the secrets of the mystical arts. They spent many hours studying the texts, learning the secrets of the ancient magic, and unlocking the mysteries of the universe. But they knew that they could not stay in the palace forever, and that they had to continue their journey to the Lost City of Eldarath. Eryndor and Lyra left the palace, and continued their journey, following the path that led them deeper into the forest. As they walked, the trees grew closer together, and the air grew thick with an otherworldly energy. Eryndor could feel the magic of the forest pulsing through his veins, and he knew that he was getting closer to his goal. But Lyra warned him that the journey would not be easy, and that they would have to face many challenges before they could reach the Lost City. After many days of travel, Eryndor and Lyra finally reached the gates of the Lost City of Eldarath, a great stone structure that shone like a beacon in the darkness. The gates were guarded by a pair of massive stone statues, their eyes glowing with an inner light. Lyra told Eryndor that these were the guardians of the city, and that they would have to prove themselves worthy to enter. The guardians of the city presented Eryndor and Lyra with a challenge, a test of their courage and their wits. They had to solve a complex puzzle, a riddle that had been set by the Ancient Ones. The puzzle was said to be impossible to solve, but Eryndor and Lyra were determined to succeed. They used all their skills and cunning to unlock the puzzle, and after many hours of struggle, they finally succeeded. As they entered the Lost City of Eldarath, Eryndor and Lyra were struck by its beauty and its magic. The city was filled with towering spires and grand architecture, and the air was filled with the sound of music and laughter. They saw creatures from all corners of the forest, each one more fantastical than the last, and they knew that they had finally reached their goal. Eryndor and Lyra spent many days exploring the Lost City of Eldarath, learning its secrets, and unlocking its mysteries. They discovered ancient artifacts, and magical relics, and they learned the secrets of the ancient magic that had created the city. But they knew that they could not stay in the city forever, and that they had to return to the world outside, to share their knowledge and their discoveries with others.